In a few hours from now, Jake Paul is going to become the most hated individual on the entire planet. Tonight, he faces one of the most iconic people in the world of boxing in Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion and one of the youngest to attain that title, doing so at the age of 20. And it's all going to be streaming live on Netflix for the entire world to witness the downfall and the brutal knockout of one of boxing's finest icons. And until now, the whole fight has been kind of professional, with Mike Tyson maintaining his composure. But something happened last night. During their face-off, Jake stepped on Mike's foot and that set him off. So this happened. He got a very nasty slap which turned the whole program on its head. So as you can imagine, the whole thing just got very personal.
I didn't even feel it. He's angry. He's an angry little elf. Mike Tyson, I thought that was a cute slap, buddy, but tomorrow you're getting knocked the fuck out. I'm fucking him up, Burial. I'm fucking him up. He hits like a bitch. It's personal now. It's personal now. He must die.
This is going to be an epic fight. Now, Jake has a more reason to go in there and not look at Mike as an uncle or a legend of the sport, but as someone who needs to pay for what he did just a few hours ago. So I am so pumped for that to happen. But there are two ways this fight can go. One is after this fight, Jake Paul will be memed into eternity. He will not have any rest and KSI is going to be having a field day on Twitter. It's going to be amazing. He might even compose a new song just for that. And at that point, Jake will have to say goodbye to his dreams of ever becoming world champion in boxing. He would just have to kill that dream. Fight! Fight! Because getting beat by a 58-year-old man as a 27-year-old upcoming boxer will just kill all the buzz around you. And the other way this fight could go down is Jake goes in there, allows Mike to be explosive for the first few rounds, and then when he gets tired, goes in there and delivers some of the nastiest punches and knock him out. Because if this went to the late stages and it was left to the judges to decide who the winner of the fight was, that would also be a massive L on Jake's resume. Nobody wants that. So the only way that Jake is going to win this fight is by knocking Mike Tyson out. Any other thing would be considered a failure. So those are the stakes for this fight. I have a few reasons to believe that Jake is absolutely going to destroy Mike Tyson. Let's break it down. My name is Francis, OF only for the fans, and I make weekly videos about topics, events, and ideas I find interesting. So if this is your type of content, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified when I post every time. Let's get into the video. As you've probably heard almost a million times by now, this fight should have never happened in the first place. This is a bad idea. Pairing a 58-year-old veteran against a 27-year-old rising boxer. And granted, Jake is not a conventional boxer. He's a YouTuber who is transitioning into this boxing scene. And because of that, a lot of people are not taking him seriously. But as he has proven, this guy has got a lot of power in his hands.
What they say? You betcha.
Oh! Get my money, Jake. Get my fucking money, Jake.
And giving him another opportunity to fight an older person, and not just any older person, but one of boxing's greatest, is insane. But I get it, the money is massive. Mike Tyson will be receiving about $20 million and Jake will be getting $40 million. So yeah, I do not know anybody who would pass up that opportunity. But that does not take away from the absolute buffoonery we'll be witnessing tonight. I believe Jake is out for blood, especially after his loss from Tommy Fury. He is looking to make a name for himself, because after that loss against Tommy, many people have hopped off the Jake Paul train, and his fights, while they have been doing well, haven't been receiving the same buzz that he used to get. So with this, he is looking to disrupt and make himself the most hated in the world of boxing, and that would bring him more notoriety, more fights, and more money. But Mike, on the other hand, I guess apart from the $20 million, has nothing to gain, because beating Jake means nothing. He has already beaten much worthier opponents, so to speak. So this fight doesn't mean a lot to him. But in the case that Jake delivers some heavy punches from the gates of hell, that man is going to be in a world of trouble. Because apart from his age, Mike Tyson has some serious conditions that would make any fighter less effective in the ring. During his 20-year career, this man tore a ligament in his left knee. He also suffers from sciatica, a condition that makes mobility an issue sometimes. And even more recently, he had a bleeding ulcer earlier this year. So there are a lot of things that makes Mike unfit to have this fight. But for the die-hard Mike Tyson fans, you guys are not ready to hear this. You guys think this man is the same as Iron Mike Tyson, but no. Iron Mike Tyson is gone. Iron Mike Tyson is stuck in the 90s and will not be showing up for this fight. What we are going to be seeing is a 58-year-old man try to relive the good old days. And it's going to end bad because Jake Jake is brutal. Jake is living his future good old days. He has been putting all of his opponents to sleep in the past 5 years, except of course Tommy Fury. But I'll be talking about that fight in a moment and how it is actually good for Jake in his upcoming fight against Mike Tyson. But before that, I would like to address the Mike Tyson fans who think Prime Iron Mike will be showing up for this fight. Okay, no, that is not happening. And to understand why, we'll have to revisit his last few fights. When Mike was nearing the end of his career, he lost 3 of his last 5 fights. And at that point, it was clear that Tyson was no longer the same man. He did not have that ruthlessness and desire to kill. The ruthless killer that was Iron Mike had faded. At that point, he had done everything he wanted to do and he was ready to move on. Because even after he retired, Tyson himself admitted that he had lost the passion to perform on the highest stage of the sport.
Well, I would like to continue, but I saw that I was getting beat on. I realized I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore.
And he was 38 years old. 15 years down the line, Tyson returned to the ring to fight another legend in Roy Jones Jr. And that matchup made much more sense because it was a 50-year-old Roy Jones fighting a 54 or so year old Tyson. So that was fine, that made sense. And it was also exciting because people like me who had never seen Mike Tyson fight were going to be able to see him in action and finally see what all the hype was about. And that fight was fine. It was aggressive and explosive. Mike was on his game. He was trying to take Roy Jones' head off. And at a point in that fight, it seemed Roy Jones did not want to be there. I don't think he even expected Mike Tyson to go as hard as he did. But at the end of the day, he was doing his best to emulate Prime Iron Mike. But the killing blow never came. He never got the knockout he was looking for in a 50-year-old man. So even though Jones was taking most of the punishment, it was not enough to end the fight. The killer Mike we hoped to see was just not there, and we have to call a spade a spade. On the other hand, we have Jake Paul, a rising fighter who has mastered the art of cherry picking his opponents, making sure they are old enough and retired, making sure they are old enough and out of their element that he can step in a ring with them and absolutely devastate their legacy. That is what he has been doing for the past 5 or so years, except of course for the Tyson Fury fight. That loss is actually going to be one of Jake's best things going into this fight, because that was an active fighter who is considered to be in his prime, a man from a family of fighters, and even he at that age with all the power and endurance he has was not able to put Jake down. I'm saying this to say Mike Tyson has been inactive for a while. He has been inactive since 2005 and only fighting once in 2020 against Roy Jones Jr. And according to Mike himself, he has been trying to distance himself from the Iron Mike persona. And when he was asked by Joe Rogan, he said this:
Do you work out anymore?
Nah, man, I keep away from that stuff, man.
You don't even like
all that stuff,
spin class or anything?
No, all that stuff reactivates my ego.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna lose everything.
What if you go jogging? Can you go jogging?
Nah, I do my treadmill work and stuff.
Oh, okay, treadmill.
So if all that is to be believed, then this fight will not go past the 5th round. Although this fight is being considered as a professional fight which will go on both their records, they've made some slight adjustments. They are using heavier 14-ounce gloves, and they will also be having shorter 2 minutes per round 8-round bouts. And all this to me seems pretty clear. They are trying to protect Mike Tyson from suffering some serious damage in that fight. But this helps Mike as much as it helps Jake. And it may even be helping Jake more than we think, because he is a younger guy who has been fighting for the past 5 years. He has been active for the last 5 years. And what has Mike been doing for the last 5 years? He only started training for this particular fight. So physically, it is just impossible for him to outperform Jake. That's how biology works. So these 2-minute rounds are going to allow for Mike to be as explosive as he wants to be. He's going to try to come at Jake in the first few rounds, try and get the head of Jake. But if he's not able to do so in the first 2 or so rounds, the tides are going to turn. Jake is going to tear the man apart. And if someone doesn't get in there, it's going to be very bad. In boxing, reflexes, agility, and split-second decision making are very essential, but they also decline with age. Mike has all the experience in the world. He has everything in his resume but the physicality. Because in the open workout and the posts he puts online, we only see short bursts of Mike coming forward and doing his thing. But when he is put up against someone who is trying to take his head off for slapping him the night before, things are going to change. And it's going to be absolutely brutal. So, do you agree with me that this is going to be an easy night for Jake? An easy $40 million, it has to say it. People are getting paid $40 million to go and put up a fight. Or Mike Tyson is going to win this fight. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel for more updates, and I'll see you another time. Bye.